Production support for the weekly special is provided by IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. The Al Cobain Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobain to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you.
The hints of spring are just around the corner and Hoosiers are ready to get out and about. Discover unexpected and unusual ways to explore the state as winter wanes. Journey down one of Indiana's longest underground rivers where it feels like spring year-round. Wander the mysterious catacombs hidden beneath the streets of downtown Indianapolis. Get in shape for the summer season at Indiana's Spartan race where strength is tested in uncanny ways. And welcome singer-songwriter Crescent Ulmer, a folk artist gaining attention for his raw lyrics and sweet sounds. You don't have to wait for spring to trek outside. Find the adventures that await you right here on the Weekly Special. Welcome to the Weekly Special. I'm Daryl Neer. Hoosiers across the state have enjoyed some unseasonal sunshine, and even though spring is not officially here, that doesn't mean you have to stay inside. Nestled below the rolling hills of Lawrence County, Bluespring Caverns give visitors a unique opportunity to venture into the heart of the underground world.
Okay, right now we're starting into the lower levels of the caverns, and this is where the water constantly flows. And while it's flowing along down here in the underground river, it's slowly, little by little, dissolving away at the limestone, enlarging the passage year by year, although not enough that you'd notice it if you sat down here for 10 years. It is a river cave, so the passages we're following are totally carved by the flowing water. Geologists tell us that these underground passages began forming about 1 million years ago. That's when the first tiny little trickles of water flowed through the cracks of the limestone, enlarged over the last 1 million years, and eventually reached the size that we see today. If you look back in the history books from the late 1800s, they mentioned going into the caverns, and we assume at that time they were coming in from the river entrance, where the underground river in the caverns here actually joins the outside. The entrance that we use today opened up overnight after a heavy rain. The bottom dropped out of a sinkhole and there appeared a large hole leading down into this large passage here. And that's when the modern day history of Bluespring Caverns started.
It took the curiosity of local spelunkers like Jim to rediscover and map much of Bluespring Caverns.
I started going in this particular cave in 1961. We spent a number of years exploring and caught the bug to see what we could do as far as making it possible for the public to come and see it. This was the cave that we first explored and discovered lots and lots of passages that no one had ever seen before, so it kind of transferred to this is where we had our greatest interest. In 1974, we opened up the cave for tours to the public. As the main person involved with setting the whole thing up to begin with, this has kind of fell to me to stay here. So I've been here ever since.
Step by step, the cave was carefully readied for the public, becoming one of 4 developed locations on Indiana's Cave Trail.
Cave development is really kind of a painful process. You can't go out and hire a contractor to come and do it. So all the work with putting in the trails, installing the lights, all that we do ourselves. Well, typically, underground rivers like this can be found in a lot of different situations, but it's rare to have this much deep water. It's probably the longest navigable underground river in the country. There's a little bit over 3 miles of passage that you can follow by boat. And then there are a bit over 17 miles of tributary stream passages that feed into the main river, just like creeks would feed into a river on the surface.
Through Jim's tireless effort, the cave has been transformed into an award-winning adventure destination, offering boat tours and even overnight spelunking.
We've been doing our overnight adventure for almost 40 years now, and it's a program uniquely set up for youth groups ages 9 through 16. When they come down to the caverns, we take them on a boat trip up the river. They get to do a special trip off trail where they have helmets and lights and go into the undeveloped sections of the cave and do a bit of crawling, a bit of climbing, get very dirty. It's a way of introducing the youth to what's going on underground, to experience things that you won't see and won't experience sitting at home in your living room or watching TV, where you actually get into the environment and see it with your own eyes.
It's no wonder why Bluespring has become a favorite destination, no matter the season.
Bluespring Caverns Park is open now for overnight stays and opens in March for daily tours. Find more information at bluespringcaverns.com. One expects hidden caverns underneath the hills of southern Indiana, but you don't expect them below the busy streets of Indianapolis. Built in 1886, the 20,000 square foot expanse of arched catacombs are all that remain of Tomlinson Hall.
The city market certainly has changed in the past several years. Our mission is really to perpetuate and preserve Indiana's agricultural, architectural, and historical heritage. It's interesting because in the mid-90s, we hosted some fun events in the catacombs that were private events. And guests at those events said, "What an interesting, great space you have here." And it really generated a lot of interest as buzz kind of hit the streets. And then during Super Bowl, we thought, why not open up this kind of a hidden underground gem? And what we found through that was that we got some out-of-towners who visited, but it was the in-towners, the Indianapolis residents, who really wanted to know. Some of them didn't know anything about the catacombs, and they had probably sat on West Plaza of City Market and had lunch and listened to music, and finding out that they were sitting right on top of such a hidden gem the whole time, they were especially intrigued by that. And based on that success, we opened it up to public tours.
I've had a few individuals who have come through who may have thought that the catacombs were like the catacombs that you find in Rome or Paris, where the human remains are found. And so I always hasten to point out that while that is a dictionary definition of the word, this is not that kind of catacomb. An important event occurred in the 1880s. Stephen D. Tomlinson, who was a prosperous Indianapolis druggist, willed money to construct a public building. Consideration was given by city leaders about how the money would be used, and eventually they decided to have a dual-purpose building with a market on the first floor and an auditorium on the second floor. In 1958, Tomlinson Hall burned on January 30th. More than 2 million gallons of water were used in an attempt to quench the blaze, but they were unsuccessful. So a few months later, Tomlinson had to be removed. They did not, however, remove the catacombs. We know less about how the catacombs were used than we would like. We believe that equipment, chairs used in relation to Tomlinson Hall were probably sold here. We know that in 1912 there was a period of intense cold, and so the mayor had the catacombs fumigated and invited homeless to come down and sleep here. In mid-century, the area was used by the police department as a shooting range. The area of the catacombs is a large space. It's about 20,000 square feet, which is a bit less than half an acre. There are 140 columns down here. Some are limestone, like these more substantial columns. Others are columns made of brick. The basic construction technique is barrel vault, which is a technique that was used by the Egyptians and was extensively used by the Romans. Let me mention that about 3/4 of the catacomb area dates back to 1886. And so when we walk through this portion of the catacombs, we can feel like the area in which we're encompassed dates back to 1886. I think people are impressed with the feel of the place, the ambience, and sometimes by the spookiness than they are by anything I've said. It's a fun space to be in.
It's interesting because people are always putting great ideas as to what they would do or what they would like to see the catacombs kind of be developed as. And it really talks about and energizes thought and innovation for the city and this property in particular. But we're working with the city on that as well, so stay tuned.
Explore the secrets of the city market yourself. Purchase tickets for a tour at indianalandmarks.org. Well, if staying above ground is more to your liking and a bit of sunshine helps put a spring in your step, you can still find unexpected adventure. For many Hoosiers, getting outside means getting in shape. And there's no better place to test your fitness than at the Indiana Spartans race.
There you go! Got it? Yeah, go ahead.
Painful. A lot of barbed wire. That was pretty miserable. The mud right in the beginning kind of gets you. I fell face first in the first mud pit, so that didn't help. So then from then on, it was weighted shoes and mud and miserable cold and a good time.
A marathon or just running on a paved road is good if you're getting chased or you're running somewhere, but it's kind of boring. It doesn't feel great. This is everybody's dream since they were a little kid, whether it was to be a Navy SEAL or be in the Olympics or get out and be, 007. Here's your day to see what that feels like. We are definitely a little crazy and sadistic, and we come up with things every day. Wouldn't it be great if we did this? Wouldn't that be cool? So 2004, we said, let's start something that would change people's lives and would help us find people that would inspire us.
Everybody has a 5K. There's one in every town, every city. But this is a 5K through mud and hills and in water and over obstacles. It's getting back to the basics. We were made to run. We were made to go through the forest. Several hundreds of thousands of years ago, they did it already. So why not bring it back to that? Everybody, once they get that little taste of mud, they go after it full bore. So why not give them to Indiana?
No matter where people are from, they want to do this. And Indiana has been most interesting because we'd had no intention of coming to Indiana. We didn't think the population was here. We didn't think the demand was here. And the Corn-Fed group are a bunch of lunatics that demanded the Spartan race come to Indiana. And like I said, we said no. And they were relentless. They drove everybody in the organization crazy until we finally said yes. And you can see the result. It worked. They were right. We were wrong.
We seen it as an obstacle. And if we fought hard enough, banged our head against that brick wall long enough, it was going to come down. We were going to get what we wanted. And we've got 3,500 people that showed up. Just signed up for the race. There'll be around 7,000 people throughout the day. So it's pretty incredible. It's proud to see.
Never done anything like this before. I've always just run regular races, and this was something out of our element. So we decided we would come down here and try something different and fun. Survival will be my approach. Following the people ahead of me and watching and seeing what they do, probably.
That's it, keep going. Don't look at it, just jump right in, go for it. It's refreshing. Good for your skin.
One of the members of our gym actually talked me into signing up for it when I did a weight loss challenge. So, and that stupid me signed up, but I really liked it. Worst comes to worst, you get to see a lot of cool people having a great time. You get a little muddy, get a little wet, and meet a lot of friends. Something you should definitely do once in your life.
I came out here just to beat the hell out of myself for fun of it. And then say that you completed it and being able to tell your buddies at work that you did this, get on the internet and show them what you did. It's a total adrenaline rush. Confidence booster, actually.
Most common reaction, hands down, is "you've changed my life." I mean, we hear it over and over and over every day. "You've changed my life." I mean, I've had people that were drug addicts, that were overweight, that were chain smokers, and they come over and they hug me, and I don't even know them. It's just amazing. It's not me, it's this whole movement that's changed people. I mean, before I went out and did a marathon, I didn't think I could do it. And all you have to visualize is, God forbid you were in a car accident and you had to run 26 miles to get to safety, you would. You had to run 50 miles to get to safety, you would. So you can get out here and you can do this. It's gonna be a different mindset. You've got to toughen up, get off the couch and do it. And once you do, anything's possible.
Spartan warriors, They knew no retreat, no surrender. Who am I? Let's go.
Spots are still open for the upcoming Indiana Spartan race. Learn how to sign up at Spartan.com. Our next musical guest has gained popularity for his striking voice and soulful lyrics. Meet Crescent Ulmer.
I first fell in love with music around 15 years old. My mom got me a guitar for Christmas, put me in guitar lessons. I think the very first seed that was planted that got me into songwriting, it was rooted out of poetry. When I was a little kid, I used to write on scraps of paper. When I got the guitar, that was when the poems came to life. I was able to talk about and express a lot of feelings that I kept inside. The story that my very first album tells is a lot about dealing with identity and maturity, moving away from adolescence into this early adulthood. I got wrapped up into partying, drugs and alcohol. For a really long time, I was just really, really unhappy. And the only thing that got me through that, the constant catharsis, was playing music, was writing songs. And what I discovered was I wasn't the only 18-year-old or 20-something-year-old that was completely and utterly lost, trying to pretend like they had it together. Inwardly, I felt a lot of shame about who I was, and I realized it was through my actions. I was self-destructing, and I was self-destructing in a very public and visible way. All of those songs are about just trying to cope with who you are and trying to accept who you are and coming to terms with your reality, with your truth. Writing has definitely been a healing process for me. It's allowed me to go places and explore experiences that I've had that for a really long time I couldn't even look at. It's allowed me to work through a lot dealing with depression and low self-esteem. Had I not written those songs, I probably would have gone off the deep end. I find light at the end of the tunnel in songwriting. It's interesting to watch the way that the song changes because it may start off with something like identifying as a lesbian and then having to come to terms with the fact that I was trans and what that meant for me and what that meant for my family, how I was going to navigate life. I noticed that this theme kept showing up in the songs, and it wasn't even really fleshed out, but it was just kind of like a singular statement. I would sit down and I would start to work through that, and the story would come out. I'm finally able to put into words what this feeling is. You just let it flow, you allow it to come out of you. It's therapy. My biggest drive in music is that it saved my life. And I feel like there are a lot of people out there that it could do the same for. My upbringing was a little chaotic, and around 15, right around the time that I got a guitar, I actually went into a stress center for attempted suicide and severe depression, but it was because of music that I was able to see that there was more to life, and I was able to connect with other people. It got me out of my own head, it got me out of my own experience. But looking back on it now, it's such a relief to listen to those songs because I can see the progress in myself and I can say, wow, man, I was in a really low place. If it wasn't for the grace of God and good friends and for family that allowed me the space and opportunity to explore that, then I don't know if I would be able to write songs now that are telling people that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there's always something better, and that your struggles are an opportunity for you to help someone else.
And now, Crescent Ulmer.
Times did we lay in our beds, wishing to be someone else, lying next to lovers, head under our covers, disappointed in the space between our legs. But you are loved so much more than you know. So pay no mind to what they say, 'cause they don't even know half of what we went through just to be here. to be real, to be honest, to be real. How many times will we fight instead of cry? 'Cause we're sick of all this pain. Now we're demanding life. And how many times will we fall into the arms of a good friend who's wanting to die? But you are loved so much more than you know. So pay no mind to what they say, 'cause they don't even know half of what we went through just to be here, to be honest, to be real, to be honest, to be real. So step away from the edge. There is no need to hurt yourself, 'cause you are loved, you are valuable. Yes, you are loved and worth so much. So step away from the edge. Oh, there's no need to hate yourself, 'cause you are loved, you are valuable. Yes, you are loved and worth so much. Yes, you are loved, you are safe here.
Find more information about Crescent's latest album releases at his website, crescentisalive.com. And find additional bonus performances at our website, weeklyspecial.org. That's all the time we have for tonight, so go out there and find the adventures in your own backyard. Thanks for joining us, and once again, Crescent Ulmer.
We sat in the car, we didn't get too far before I pulled over, steadied my beating heart. I put my hand on hers, we didn't say a word, but I asked if she was okay. Only the silence rang, but when she shook her wrist, I read her bracelet, and I wish she wouldn't be so ashamed of what she's done, 'cause Lord knows she's not the only one. I asked her for a kiss, she said she don't wanna live, and this won't make no difference, because it is what it is. But I wish that she could see what she means to me, wish that she could believe in everything she could be. And I wish she wouldn't be so ashamed of what she's done. Lord knows she's not the only. I wish she wouldn't be so ashamed of what she's done. 'Cause the Lord knows I've been there more than once. And all of her friends, and all of us who love her, it's all of her friends. Ooh, we see so much more. And all of her friends, and those of us who have loved her, it's all of her friends. My God, we want so much more. And I told her that if she were empty, and I told her.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. The Al Cobain Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobain to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you.